The Delaware head coach drops the F-bomb on national television because they beat Navy. Absolutely incredible on that one. What is up, everybody? It is Jake with Master of Football, back at it again. Happy Tuesday. Thank you so much for being here. If you want to be up to date on all things EA College Football, subscribe to this channel right now. I also do plenty of college football videos, some pro and Madden videos as well. Please subscribe to the channel. It's free to you. The only thing it's going to cost you is being up to date on all things EA College Football and seeing plenty of college, pro, and Madden videos. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Do all that stuff right now. I really appreciate it. Without further ado, let's get into the video. All right, guys, so week one is just in the books. I'm just watching the Clemson versus Georgia Tech game here, and it actually a conference game in the Chick-fil-A kickoff. That's actually kind of cool. But let's go over, because I got to show you something, because there's been so much talk about realignment and this and that, and I really want to make sure that we discuss the most important thing about college football, which is the games, because this week one, I know we had week 0 to talk about, but this week one shows me why just what college football has and why the games matter so much and why a realignment should hopefully slow down. And I'll come to my reasoning here in a second here. But first of all, let's go over the week because it was so cool. So we start off here on Thursday. First of all, the backyard brawl was amazing. I mean, Pitt had a touchdown and then a crazy interception return for touchdown. This B. Ford Wheaton, he was amazing out there. He dropped a pass, but he was keeping them in the game too. But it was an awesome game to watch. Absolutely a madhouse. You know, there was, first of all, if anybody wants an interesting thing to watch, I'm telling you, go watch the South Carolina State. Just type in South Carolina State UCF punter and just see what comes up. It is an incredible clip. It's absolutely amazing. Another amazing clip, if you were watching the Penn State versus Purdue game, Penn State throws a pick within like the final 10 minutes of the game. The Purdue player takes it 70 yards for a touchdown, comes back. Gus Johnson's going insane. The Purdue player comes to the sideline and just throws up everywhere. It is absolutely awesome. But Gus Johnson, of course, down the sideline. Love Gus Johnson. He is absolutely awesome. And then on Friday, watching Old Dominion beat Virginia Tech. And again, they've only beaten 2 FBS teams. They've beaten 2 Power 5 teams, and they've beaten Virginia Tech twice. So they beat them. They played them at home. Virginia is in the southwestern portion of the state. Old Dominion is in the southeastern portion of the state. They will play each other for a while here. It was just awesome games there. Alabama actually comes out and defeats the reigning Mountain West champion 55-0. I had them plus 41.5, and they still couldn't cover. Ohio State took care of business against Notre Dame. Georgia annihilated Oregon. We'll see what Oregon is down the stretch. Sam Houston State got a taste of what FBS football would be like versus Texas A&M. Anthony Richardson comes out for Florida against Utah. Really good win at home against a ranked team. Very good win for them out there. A clutch interception down the road. We also see that Cade McNamara comes out, plays solid against Colorado State, but I'm telling you, I think J.J. McCarthy needs to win that job. That's just me personally. And then you see, oh man, the poor East Carolina kicker that not only missed the PAT but missed the field goal to win the game. It was the storybook moment. You missed the PAT. And then you have an opportunity to make up for it, and you couldn't even make that either. So, that's brutal in a rivalry game here. Looks like USC and Miami both have regained their offenses. Like the way that looks. Hopefully that looks good down the stretch. And then we see here that Cincinnati lost a ton of players. They play Arkansas at Arkansas. Luke Fickell, though, he's a pretty good coach. It was close there. I didn't know that they were able to pull away towards the end, but they scored a late touchdown. But it was an awesome game. We also see the Houston quarterback diving over here, like here, the leaping 2-point conversion from Clay Tune. It was absolutely awesome. You know, like I said, there were so many cool games. This game it probably wasn't very enjoyable to watch, but Iowa won by 7-3, and their 7 was 2 field goals or 1 field goal, and then 2 safeties in the second half to win 7-3. That is absolutely crazy. And then this App State North Carolina game, I had App State minus half a point, and they scored 40 points in the fourth quarter. Appalachian State did. It was just go back and watch the highlights. It is absolutely nuts. The Delaware head coach drops the F-bomb on national television because they beat Navy. Absolutely incredible on that one. I mean, there were so many good games here. Master Football, remember what he said? I had told you guys, watch out for Arizona. Comes out against San Diego State, an 11-win team last year with 8 returning defenders back. But your boy Jacob Cowing, 8 for 152, 3 touchdowns, comes over from UTEP. I'm telling you, Arizona, they might not be a 9-3 team, but they're a 1-11 team last year. They're going to be a 6-6 team that's going to give a lot of teams problems. I'm telling you that right now. I guarantee you that situation. And then last but not least, we have the game here. We have Florida State coming out, and it was amazing. So LSU muffs a kick inside of 2 minutes inside their 10-yard line. Florida State fumbles the ball on the put-away drive in the final minute. They put the ball at the 1-yard line. LSU drives 99 yards, gets the ball out of bounds with 1 second left, throws a touchdown pass with time expired. All they have to do is kick the PAT and they go to overtime, and the PAT was blocked. It's incredible. Florida State, which has not been playing well as of late these last couple of years, off 2-2-0 start, only need 4 more wins for a bowl victory. If they go 4-6 down the stretch, they go to a bowl game, and they beat LSU, which seems to be at least a talented roster. So you see those games there. This is absolutely nuts because though that's the reason why we like college football so much. The bands and the pageantry and the this and the that and the rivalries and everything like that. Like I'm telling you right now, I had more fun watching the backyard brawl than I did in many years watching college football games. I know my Boise State Broncos, they went out, just weren't able to put it together, had an absolutely horrendous first quarter of offense against Oregon State. We'll see what my boy Taylor Green is down the stretch. But again, hats off to Oregon State. I hope they do some damage there in the Pac-12. But I basically, this is more so a plea. This is a plea because I hope that the conferences, particularly the Big Ten, realize that keeping the Pac-12, the SEC, the ACC, the Big 12, keeping them strong too is going to help you out as well because you have stronger matchups, more incentive for teams to play. There's clearly enough talent out there across the country, so I hope that they kind of realize that and they don't expand to 20, 25, 38 teams or whatever they're trying to do. I actually think that Ohio State and the fact that they don't want to expand, or at least that they are rumored to not want to expand, is actually going to help out the rest of college football because 16 is a really nice number. Like I said before, I've said this in multiple videos out there. 16 is a really nice number because with 16, what you can do, like I said, 3 guaranteed rivals every year, and then 6 and 6. Play every team every 2 years, play everywhere every 4 years. That's just the way to go, in my personal opinion. I mean, even checking this out, Maryland and Rutgers, I know I keep on harping on about Maryland and Rutgers, but if you check them out, they've been added to the Big Ten 2014, I want to say, for Maryland, and around that same time for Rutgers. And think about this right now. What was the last big win for Maryland or Rutgers in the Big Ten? I found one. We'll get into those records real quick. So I come over here and I check out Randy Edsall's. So this right here is the first season for Maryland in the Big Ten. And what are their biggest victories they have down here? They beat Syracuse. They beat Iowa. They beat Penn State at Penn State. That's a big win. Like I said, this is in 2014. They go to a bowl game. This is in 2016. They come out here and they were 6-7, and their biggest win was they beat Michigan State. Okay, I like that Michigan State victory. Okay, and they beat Rutgers. Lost 5 in a row down here. Michigan, Ohio State, Nebraska, and boom, boom, boom. But again, like I said, there's a couple wins in there. And in 2021, they were 7-6. Maryland comes out here, and who they beat? They beat Indiana. They beat Rutgers. They beat Illinois. Beat West Virginia. So I don't know. We have 2021's Rutgers here. This is a 5-8, and again, their biggest win was, what is this, at Illinois or at Indiana? I mean, but none of those are actually the biggest win between Maryland and Rutgers since they joined the Big Ten was this one right here. So here we are, 2014, head coach Kyle Flood, 8-4. They come out here and they beat Michigan at home, 24-26. This right here, 2014. This was the year that Brady Hoke got fired from Michigan. This right here is what I see as the biggest victory from Rutgers and Maryland since they have joined the Big Ten. Now, I'm not trying to be mean here. There are plenty of football teams that are out there that aren't as successful as you want them to be. I do suspect, actually, that Rutgers, and again, they're in the New York market. They're close to Pennsylvania. They're close to New Jersey. They have an opportunity to actually turn things around. Maryland is in D.C. They can turn things around if they actually put their minds to it. But it's more so, what I'm trying to say is I'm trying to plead to the Big Ten, like, do you really think Cal is going to give you that type of exposure? Yes, you do have access to that market. Yes, you do have access to UC Berkeley and the fact that you'll be able to share seats with UC Berkeley and things like that. But I think that to make sure be cognizant of what the product is on the field and what you're doing. Because remember, all you're doing is if you're transferring Cal over to the Pac-12, you're transferring some of those FCS games that the Big Ten teams play or the MAC teams that the Big Ten teams play over to Cal. I know Cal just beat UC Davis. Good for you. But at the same time, what I'm saying is that prioritize what is important for college football. Again, I actually think that I'm more so harping on the Big Ten here because the SEC, it made a little bit more sense when they added Texas and Oklahoma close by, solid universities, it gives them a couple new markets, solidifies it in a lot of different ways. Whereas it seems like the Big Ten is like, screw this, we want to have our own national conference. And, to be fair, if you made a national conference, it would actually make the West Coast, give access to Oregon and Washington more big games. Stanford and Cal would be able to associate themselves potentially with, Notre Dame down the road, things like that. But I think that this week one was so cool, man. It was, and I just want to make sure whatever happens, we don't remove that. As a matter of fact, it looks like they're trying to strengthen that in many different ways. Check out this news. So here we are with the college football playoff to expand to a 12-team format. And again, it's very, very particular language. The language around this is the top 6 highest rated conference champions get to go. Now, keep that in mind. There's the Autonomy 5 and then the Group of 5. So for the Group of 5, their carrot that's dangled toward them is like, listen, here's the deal. If you have a Cincinnati season where Cincinnati finished 4, and let's just say the ACC champion Pitt finished, somewhere in the teens, you are going to be above them in seeding. So the cool thing about that is, let's just say one year the ACC and the Pac-12 both had really down years, and the American and the Mountain West both had really good years, and their teams were ranked 10 and 11, and the ACC champs and the Pac-12 champs are rated 20 and 21. They could potentially be put in above those two conferences, the Autonomy 5 conferences. Also, the cool thing about this is that it says the top 4 conference champions get byes, meaning Notre Dame, if you want to get a bye, you got to get a conference championship to get that conference, that extra game that you have. Notre Dame just lost the game, I know that, but they're going to be just fine. Marcus Freeman looks like he's got that defense is definitely doing pretty good. But, like I said, this is going to be really cool because this is going to give access to this is going to give at least a glimmer of hope to the American, the Sun Belt, the MAC, the Conference USA, and then the Mountain West. And it's going to give a much stronger sense to the teams that have a lot of good teams like the SEC. There are 6 at-large bids. They could fill that up with potentially 3 of those bids. Big Ten gets 2, and then, the ACC or the Big 12 or the Pac-12 get 1 additional spot there. Like I said, guys, this is so cool. I'm so excited for college football. I know my boys just lost week 1, but again, they could turn around. We'll see. But remember, guys, I think that, man, this is the reason why we love college football so much. This week 1 was so fun. What was your most memorable moment of week 1? Get in the comments right now. Let me know. All right, guys, that's it. Thank you so much for being here. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff. I appreciate it. See you guys tomorrow. I am out.